Okay, season 2 of Dark. I'm excited, man. Really excited. Alright. Right. Nietzsche. Whoa! Is this like the process of the door being... Okay, not the door being, crafted, but more like the entrance itself being carved.
Sigmundus Creatus est.
Noah? This dude has the same tattoo of the tablet.
Du glaubst nicht mehr an die Prophezeiung?
Prophecy? Oh.
Ich glaube an die Ironie des Schicksals.
The irony of fate. Yeah.
Adam sagt, dass alle Dinge so passieren müssen, wie sie schon immer passiert sind. Wir müssen das Kreuz tragen, egal wie schwer es uns erscheint. In 6 Tagen beginnt das Paradies und die Hölle auf Erden hat ein Ende.
Whoa.
Ob das Paradies und die Hölle.
Adam hatte recht. Du hast den Glauben verloren.
I'm sorry.
Ich habe lange auf diesen Moment gewartet. Interessant, dass du es bist. Ich hoffe, dass irgendwann der Tag kommt, an dem du nicht mehr alles glaubst, was Adam dir erzählt. Frag ihn, warum er dich aufgenommen hat. Und warum er dich Noah genannt hat.
There it is. It was the eyes, like... And whoever that person was, he knows he has already accepted his fate because he knows that if if Noah was sent here to kill him, then it has to be done because that is just the way of things, right? Oh, great cut. Beginning of the last cycle, 2020. So a few months after the... A few months after the first season. Getting a new opening as well. I'm still that thing about Adam. Is Adam the stranger that Noah was talking about when he was discussing with Helge? A stranger came into his life and all that stuff. Or is Adam also the one? I'm just gonna go out and say it. I think Adam is Jonas. I don't think it's a coincidence at all. Especially given the last season, the first season finale where Jonas and Helge being depicted as, you know, like with the creation of Adam and all. Like I was asking, like, who is supposed to be Adam in that image? Is this a dream? I feel like this is a dream. Or a memory. Whoa! Wow. That's his old house. His old home. Same shot and everything. Interesting. So we are, in a way, kind of repeating some plot beats, or at least scenes from the first episode, but obviously different timelines, different people, different characters. The school and everything. Oh, God. I love the environments. Great shot. Loving the aesthetic of this bleak future. Kind of reminding me a bit of Fallout, but I mean, hey, it is. It does feel like a nuclear post-apocalypse. And he goes down. We kind of see we saw this shot in the opening. Tapes.
Mein Name ist Claudia Tiedemann. Ich bin eine der wenigen Überlebenden der Apokalypse vom 27. Juni.
The apocalypse of Okay. Alright, we go back to the past, 6 days before the apocalypse.
Eine Sonderkommission der Bundespolizei soll nun die Ermittlungen unterstützen.
So what led to her circling 27? That just means she knows something. Or at least somebody did.
Wir sollten sie wieder stationär behandeln.
Oh!
Gut.
Regina.
Das Ergebnis vom nächsten MRT.
Ziel der Sonderkommission ist es, die Fälle komplett neu aufzurollen, alle Indizien und Hinweise zu überprüfen, bis wir die Geheimnisse, die im Verborgenen liegen, an die Oberfläche gebracht haben.
Oh. You have no idea how ironic that line is. Oh, now she's on the hunt. Well, on the search, I would say. I mean, yeah, her husband, her son, all missing. Oh, you can see like the kind of like the impact circle of from the nuclear power plant there. It's kind of cool. Oh. Oh. We just saw a lot of deaths there. Oh. Oh, that is devastating. Oh, wow, look at this. Just like Jonas. Off to the forest road. Back to where we were before. Is that supposed to be... Oh yeah, right. Bartos and Martha wants to meet under the bridge. Right.
Verdammte Scheiße, meine Mutter stirbt. Das ist mit mir los.
Yeah, there's that as well.
Warum denn nicht?
Ich kann einfach nicht. Okay?
Yeah. Knowledge can be a curse. And Bartos is suffering from it. Noah?
Lassen Sie es uns die letzten 6 Tage im Geiste der Gemeinschaft mit Leben erfüllen.
What are we about to see? Ooh. Whoa. That's it. Oh yeah, that's the that was the box that Alexander used. Yeah, right. She is unhinged, and I am afraid to Oh! Are there any bullets though? Oh my god, that was a ooh.
Hallo?
Alexander? Oh, never mind.
Jetzt haben Sie den Schlüssel.
Das ist mein Schlüssel.
Yeah.
Das Fahrrad, das Papa und du mir zum 8. Geburtstag geschenkt habt.
just immediately says that.
Und du hast mich vor mehr als 33 Jahren gefunden. Ich habe gleich gewusst, dass du es bist. Es hat geregnet, weißt du noch? Opa und Doja wollten mich mitnehmen im Auto.
Bringing that up. Yeah. I was wondering if she remembers that.
Mama. Ich bin's.
And for future Jonas, this must have been like years ever since he last saw her.
Es gibt keinen Zufall. Jeder Weg ist vorherbestimmt.
That's what we learn. Everything is predestined and predetermined. For now. 1921?
Du hast deinen ersten Schritt getan. Adam wird stolz auf dich sein. Es geht vorbei.
Noah, you sick fuck.
Woher wissen wir, was richtig und was falsch ist? Was gut und was böse ist?
Indem wir auf unsere innere Stimme hören. Indem wir niemand anders folgen als uns selbst. Unser wahrer Charakter zeigt sich nicht nur in unseren Taten, sondern auch in deren Zweck. Ich bin du. Ich bin deine Stimme.
Okay. I thought he was gonna reveal it, but he's doing it in a more symbolic, metaphorical way, even though it's also literal, but... whoa. What is that on the trees, though? Ah, is that the girl? From the end of the first season finale? The one that hit Jonas? You mustn't hide God.
Niemand darf die Todeszone betreten. Jeder Versuch wird mit dem Tod bestraft. Das sind die Regeln.
That's Elizabeth. Like, who else could it be?
Wo warst du?
Okay, they know. Obviously.
Die Prophezeiung mit Eintreten. Die Passage wird sich öffnen und dann werden wir ins Paradies geführt.
The prophecy that was mentioned back in 1921.
Alle sterben in 6 Tagen. In meiner Zeit, verstehst du?
In my time.
Ich will einfach nur nach Hause.
It's gonna take you years, man. What's crazy is that he did eventually come back to his family. Right now, in the past, or present. Cut to Elizabeth? Yeah, I saw that one coming.
Deine Mutter war noch klein, als sie gestorben sind. Komm.
Okay. Never met grandma and grandpa from her mother's side, right? Not Helge. What the? Oh, we saw this. The string that connected that connected the professor and I was asking about this before.
Hatte sich verwählt.
Haben Sie die Nachricht noch?
I'm sorry, I'm still processing the fact that I have not clued in that Tannhaus could actually be Charlotte's like grandfather or like a relative. Even though it was clear that there was like a string that connects the two in the photos and all, like. Wow.
Ich habe ihn ein eigenes Büro einrichten lassen. Gleich den Gang runter.
Now, I don't think we've met this person before, right? Like, this is the first episode that we've seen this character.
Sie haben vielleicht einen anderen Kollegen erwartet. Und mich bekommen. Zufall? Ich glaube nicht an Zufälle. Ich glaube, dass die Dinge zusammenfinden, so wie sie zusammengehören.
Mhm. Martha's gonna come in. She's gonna go into the cave. I still don't know how that's going to connect her with the red strings, which is the theory that I had, that she was the one who left that in the cave. Because it ties directly to the story of Ariadne and...
Ein endloser Kreislauf aus Leben und Sterben.
Oh yeah.
Wo liegt
Oh
der
yeah.
Ursprung?
Oh yeah, what a shot. What a shot.
Hast du Bartosz Bescheid gegeben?
Oh, is this Adam?
Und er hat keinen Verdacht geschöpft? Er war schon immer naiver Natur. Die fehlenden Seiten aus dem Buch.
Oh?
Du musst sie finden.
Ah.
Sie warten auf dich.
It's kind of hard to theorize if Adam is Jonas because Adam looks nothing like Jonas. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. Would have never expected him. Is it something that has to do with her father, with Peter? There's gonna be some misunderstandings here. Like a lot.
Wenn du so willst, dann gibt's mich unendlich mal.
Exists infinite. Really now? That's the angle that you're going for. Alpha and Omega, huh?
Erst in der Zukunft.
In der Zukunft.
Ja.
Oh, interesting. I haven't noticed that before. A cut in his neck there. Like that scar. Huh.
Warum bist du hier?
Why are you focusing on that floor? Who can we see? Who can we see? What do we have here? Oh yeah. There it is. Noah. Huh. Oh.
Jedes Detail ist wichtig.
Every detail is important, yes. Especially in this show. Mm-hmm. He's currently in the bunker. Peter and Charlotte is gonna go in the bunker. Because now it's pretty much established that the different timelines are moving at the same time.
Da draußen wissen alle irgendwas, was wir nicht wissen sollen. Mama, Bartosz, die Polizei.
I love how almost every character now is starting to solve the mystery, because you kind of have to, like, you don't want all of your characters to be left in the dark, no pun intended. Like, it's better for the characters to be like in a similar wavelength to us, the audience, in what we know and what we are speculating. It just makes the whole experience, you know, a lot more fun. A lot more fun, engaging, and hello, Noah.
Bist du bereit?
Where? Oh, at what time though? What time? We still have no idea where.
Danke für den Kaffee.
Ich bin froh, dass das Ding jetzt wegkommt.
That truck has been there for a while. Like.
Ruf mal wieder bei Mama an. Okay?
Oh. Huh. How about that? Oh, why? Why though? Why? It's one of those things that I haven't really questioned until now. Like, why is the truck still there, and where is he taking it? Like, I never really questioned it. Huh. 1921. And the fact that the bunker is now being littered with all of these photos and stuff is gonna eventually lead to whatever Claudia was doing in the bunker, right? With all of the photos and all. But as I was saying before, we still have no idea the time where Adam is currently. We don't know where or when he is in time. Wow. Literally the only light in the dark. Man, the lighting and some of the atmosphere in this episode has been mwah. And off he goes into the nuclear plant. But what is he gonna find though? Was that the place where they were? I don't think it was. I don't think that was the place where all of those nuclear barrels were being covered. But Jonas may find it. Oh yeah, there it is. Woo! Great shot. Sigmundur scratched S. Who wrote it though? Oh, what the f... Excuse me? What the fuck was that? Man in cave, huh? No, what was that? What was that? What was that? What was that? It was right above all of those nuclear waste that Alexander was pouring, but like, what is that? It's almost like a living entity at that point, right? It's like no longer a. It's kind of like a portal, but it feels more alive. It's fascinating. Woo! Dark is back. Holy shit. Really exciting first episode premiere for this season. Like, there's so many things going on already. I love it. It almost felt like we just continued on straight from season 1. Like, there's no gap between season 1 and 2 at all. But there is a gap. There is a gap. After skimming through the episode once again, just rewatching some scenes and all, there was this. I did mention the fact that we now know that the different timelines are moving in conjunction with one another, right? So everything is moving the same way. It's just from, completely different timelines. Whenever 1953 is going, then 1986 is also going in the same time, as well as 2019 and all. Present day is already in 2020. Which means 6 months, 7 months, like half a year has passed, right? Since the event that happened at the end of season 1, which means that Jonas at this point in time, current day Jonas, who is currently in the future, isn't in 2052 anymore. It's actually 2053. Because again, like, the timeline is moving. So Jonas has been in the future for a while, like a long while, which also puts into perspective of like how long, or at least the better question is, what was future Jonas doing, as in the Stranger? Like, what was the Stranger doing during these approximately 6-month time period from when he activated the time machine, the black hole, and to where he is right now when he is meeting his mother again, right? Like, there is this 6-month difference, and what happened to him? Like, why did it took him this long to reach his mother? Like, what happened to that? Questions that may probably have no answers. Like, I know this will feel weird to say, but I don't think I necessarily need an explanation to that. Like, I don't really need an answer to that. Like, I can just accept it for what it is. Like, he may probably be doing some other things before he is willing to meet his mother. Maybe there's something more to do with that. Like, maybe there's a reason why he has to meet her mother in that exact time. But there's also the thing that we need to realize is that the Stranger, future Jonas, he is as much in the dark as we are right now, right? Because before, in season 1, he is the character that knows it all, because we are experiencing the present that he has already experienced, right? He already knows what's going to happen to 2019 Jonas. He already knows what's going to happen, like, with the power plant and everything. Right now, he has no idea what is going on. He is currently in the dark just as much as we are. Right, so that is going to be something that is very, very interesting for us to watch as the audience, because now we are following two Jonases who has no idea what to do. Right, 2019 Jonas, who is stuck in the future, has no idea what to do next, but we do know that he's going to end up to where the Stranger is, and the Stranger is currently going with whatever fate provides him. But ultimately, aside from that, this episode, there's like 2 things that I want to talk about. One of which I can't actually talk about because I have no idea what the fuck I'm looking at. And that is the mysterious, futuristic portal orb that is by the end of this episode. And yes, I think this is the most sci-fi Dark has ever been. Like, Dark has been pretty grounded a lot, especially in the first season. Now I'm looking at the sci-fi shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? I have no idea what that is, but it's clear that it is form, or at least it spawned right above the nuclear waste that Alexander was like pouring, right? That Alexander was hiding in a sense, right? So, what is that? Is that a result of it? Like, something definitely happened, something triggered it. We have no idea what that is. Probably the apocalypse. So 6 days from this time in the episode, right, where the apocalypse does happen on June, I think it was. So curious curious to see. Like, it is there for, like, they end the episode there to just spike our curiosity of, like, okay, we need to know what happens next. Let's watch the next episode, right? It's clear what they were trying to do there, right, in terms of, like, structuring the episode. But the other thing that I do want to talk about, and I think this is the one that I will be focusing a bit more in this discussion, well, there's this and the whole thing with Bartos and Noah, which I will again talk about later. But I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. Adam, I presume, the mastermind of all of this, if my hunch is right, the one who is actually controlling Noah, the one who is behind everything. He is the one who is in the shadows, right? The one who's like, he knows all, he sees all. He's kind of like God in a way, but we have no idea what he's actually doing. We have no idea what his goal is. We don't even know if he is actually a good person or bad person. Is he a good guy, bad guy, antagonist, villain? He does come off as a antagonist and as a villain. Like, I mean, look at him. Doesn't really come off as a good person, but the question is, who is that person, right? Who is he? All points leads to Adam. The next question is, who is Adam? And I talked during the reaction, I mentioned this. Is this Jonas? Jonas did explicitly said in this episode that he is infinite. He is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. He is infinite. He is the Alpha and the Omega. Noah did mention in the previous episode, when he was talking to Helge, like I said during the reaction once again, I think I've done a pretty good job at explaining what I wanted to say during the reaction portion, but I'll just elaborate further in the discussion. But yeah, Noah did mention to Helge during the previous episode when they were like discussing outside of the church, right? Of how there was a stranger that appeared on Noah's house, and he rent a room or something like that, right? And then he talked about like all of that thing about, we need to preserve time and everything needs to remain the same, and you can't really change the past because it needs to happen because it's all predestined and predetermined and all, and we are, as we are the people who needs to make sure all of that happens. We are the keepers of like time or whatever. Kind of sounds like the same fundamental ideas that Jonas actually has, like future Jonas has, right? The stranger. He was the one who was like adamant about do not change the past to past Jonas, right? He is the one that is like clearly against changing the past at all, even though he wants to, right? That's like the main central conflict of his character, which I love. He is so determined to not change the past because he knows that it is impossible to do so, but he is willing to go against it anyways, and he tries to find a way to correct himself. It's like he is in his own prison where he knows he can't escape, but he wants to escape anyways. Right? It's like trying to break free of this endless cycle, even though it's never going to happen because that's just how cycles work, right? It's that trying so hard to figure out everything. And you know what happens to people and especially like fictional characters who believe in an idea so much that once they realize how futile it is, they change characters, they change themselves, they became either too fanatical to their ideas or they abandoned it completely. And ones that became too fanatical and ones that are, again, like the people who eventually became too enslaved, if you will, enslaved by their own ideas, by their own dreams. Usually they became the antagonists, the villains, if you will, you know, the characters who are extremists. Their goals and ideas may be for a good cause before, but now it seems far more individualistic, as in they only care about themselves now. They don't really care about the bigger picture, or at least they think they are caring for the bigger picture, even though ultimately it's just to drive their own self-interests. I can totally see this being Jonas, by the way. Like, I can totally see Stranger Jonas 2052 Jonas, which is who is like, you know, older Jonas, realizing that his own plans, his own objectives, his dreams are almost impossible to reach, that he ultimately became this way. His lifelong pursuit of achieving his goal to change the future. Because ultimately I feel like he's still trying to change the future. He's telling Noah to to take care of that missing page, those missing pages in his book, because the apocalypse is about to happen, right? He knows that it's going to happen, and I feel like he's still trying to change all of that. And there's also that line where he literally says, you know, oh yeah, Bartos, he was always naive. So how do you know Bartos really? Like how close are you, Adam? How close are you to Bartos, huh? And speaking of Bartos, I feel like this is a good segue to that part of the discussion. So, after rewatching the episode, and going back to the beginning, so we know this is Noah, especially after the confirmation when he was talking to himself in the church. I ask, who is this? The older person, the one who has the tattoo. And then I looked at this actor's like face. This is the part when I was rewatching it. I wish I was recording at the time. This is the part when I was rewatching the episode, and I went, holy shit, that's Bartos, isn't it? Which kind of ties into what happened at the end here. If I can, where is it? Here, where Noah is taking Bartos somewhere, we don't know when, but I have a feeling that he is going to take Bartos way back into the past. But here's the part that I'm not sure, or at least how I don't know how it works, is because this is 1921, right? This is a timeline that is beyond the 3 timelines that are already established. At least when it comes to where the cave can lead us. There's 3 pathways in the cave, right? We know one goes to 2019, one goes to, or at least the future, right? Because it's not necessarily 2019, but it's more like present, right? It's more like 2019, 2020 right now, and then the 50s and the 1980s, right? 1920s is like way further back, so I don't know how this happened. So it's way more than 1921, that's for sure. Because if this is Bartos, then yeah, Bartos went back in time like way further before 1921. So, remember when I theorized about the connections between Bartos and Noah, right? I always ask, what is the connection? Because I don't think Noah is Bartos, and at this point, that's like out of the question completely. Proven they are not the case, but I've always wondered, and I've always think that they are connected or related somehow. And I think I've talked about this in the previous episode. I could be either the previous episode or the episodes before that, but I did mention the idea that could Bartos actually be Noah's father? I feel like the age gap between this person right here that is right in front of me in the foreground and Noah in the background, I feel like that kind of tracks, right? Like, it's not far from it, and it's not like it's impossible, because Dark has so far been playing around with the idea that everything is connected. Characters are fathers, sons, daughters, granddaughters, familial ties to one another between all of this fucked up family of 4. I don't think that's far from, like... I don't think I'm far off. I think this is pretty much Bartos. And Bartos is actually Noah's father. And knowing Bartos, knowing the fact that Noah did talk to him about, like, oh yeah, we can't really change anything. If something happened in the past, then that is destiny. That is your fate. It is what it is. You can't really change it. You can't really deny it. Which explains why Bartos, quote unquote, in this episode, in this scene currently, is just accepting his fate. He's like, okay, it is what it is. I am supposed to die in this episode. I'm supposed to die in this time, in this place. Alright, kill me. If it means that you, Noah, if my death means that you are going to take me back into whatever, whatever timeline that it's gonna go, then hey, it is what it is. Which is sad, but also kind of like, again, like the cruel idea of if your fate is already predetermined and you can't really do anything about it, then it does feel hopeless when you realize that you are nearing your death. Damn. Which, yeah, this entire episode plays around with that idea and that theme a lot of how time progresses and how you can't really stop it. Jonas tried to stop it, right? Future Jonas tried to stop it. Obviously, it didn't work. Now the apocalypse is coming. Time moves on. He can't really change anything. He can't really change all of that, so he has to accept that, and he has to find and figure out a different way to, to circumvent all of that. And so far, he has not succeeded. And I guess I forgot to talk about, like, the obvious thing about Adam there just a couple of minutes ago, which I kind of glossed over for some reason, but I did mention it during the reaction. It's the obvious parallel with the creation of Adam, right? The painting in the Sistine Chapel that I kind of made a correlation or a reference to in the previous episode, right? When Jonas was touching Helge. Now, I think that kind of enhances or strengthens my theory that Adam is Jonas, because it does beg the question of if that is a reference to the creation of Adam, which I think it is a deliberate choice why they made those two touch fingers. Like it's almost like duh, like that's very obvious, but it does beg the question of, okay, who is Adam and who is God during that moment? But now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of feels like God and Adam are the same person in this context. And that is Jonas. He is the one who created the portal. He is the one who ended the portal at the same time. He is the one who is probably going to be the cause of the apocalypse. He is the cause, he is the root cause of all of this. For him to be called Adam, I think is perfect, because it's symbolizing that he is the first, I guess, the first to sin in a way. And what sin, you may ask? I feel like this is something that has not actually happened yet, but hear me out. So, the natural order of things is that everything is predetermined, right? Everything is following a pattern, a formula. Everything needs to go and needs to be the same no matter the time. You can't really change it. That's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to change things. Keep the cycle the way it is. And who wants to change that? Who is the very person who wants to change everything? See what I'm getting at? What I'm trying to say is, if Jonas eventually got what he wanted, if Jonas eventually changed the course of time, that is a sin. In a way, that is a sin that he has committed on a universal scale. You just essentially destroyed a universe and created a new one when you decided to break the time loop and created a new timeline, right? That's just how it is. So I do find that to be like a very plausible idea, if that is the angle that they are going for. Again, like I could be just talking out of my ass, but I feel like if that is the case and if that is what is going to happen, it would be incredible. I think Jonas will probably shoot at the top as like one of my favorite characters ever, if that is the case. It does feel, again, like it perfectly fits his character of somebody who is kind-hearted at first, but his dreams, his wants, his ideals is something that he will go to great lengths to achieve. And if he does end up becoming Adam, then that just goes to show like how far he has come and how far he has, he has taken, how much he sacrificed even. And even the point where his, if that is Adam, again, like if Adam is Jonas, like that disfigured face that he has, like those are probably like burn marks, right? What happened? I feel like he's going to be at the center of the apocalypse. Future Jonas, I mean. He's gonna get hit. And that is how he became that way. Look, if that is the case, I would be happy. But if that is not the case, and Adam is actually like a completely different person, like somebody that we have never met before, it will be funny to look back at these discussions. And keep in mind, like I am like a couple of weeks ahead on YouTube, so I'm not really reading any of your comments now. So I don't know what you guys are talking about at this point. I think YouTube is still probably like still in season 1 at this point. So yeah. But I was going to immediately segue into this when I was finishing my discussion about like Bartos and Noah. But I do love how if we let's go scene by scene in this discussion. But I do love how this episode we pretty much kind of follow the same formulae as the first episode of season 1, and I think that's perfect because it's showing like the parallels and also the fact that things are connected in many ways than not, right? Noah with Jonas with Martha, again paralleling Hannah with Ulrich. Kind of crazy because they are like related in a way. God damn it, Mikkel. But then from here we go to Jonas waking up, same room, same shot and all, like, oh, it's so good, just like episode 1. And it's not just on Jonas's perspective, but it's also on Martha's perspective. Let me see if I can find. Here we go. Like this shot. It's crazy. Because with Jonas, the color scheme is pretty dark in the first episode. Like it's bleak, dark, and Jonas is the one that is like bright and yellow. Here, it's like the complete opposite. The world currently is bright sunshine and rainbows. Well, not really rainbows, but mostly sunshine, greenery, and Martha's the one who's like wearing black clothes. Like she stands out because of how dark her clothing is compared to like everything else. I just find that to be really, really cool and really, really fun to notice. The obvious parallels between Martha and Jonas also is going to fuel my theory of, again, like, Martha is going to be the one who's probably going to be putting the string in the cave, because I'm pretty sure we have no explanation of that at all at this point. Like, those red strings are there. They're just there, and we have no idea, or we have no explanation of how they got there in the first place. Like, we don't know who actually put them there. But again, I think it would be poetic if Martha is the one who put it there, and she's going to be the one who's leading Jonas into the light, or back to where he was before. Again, I pretty much talked about this like over and over again in my discussions. I don't know if you guys are gonna get tired of this, but you all know how I feel about this. Paralleling and connecting this with the story of Ariadne and all. You know the drill. I really love this scene between future Jonas and Hannah finally meeting again. Like, love how it ties directly to what our current Jonas is asking in the future, where he was basically going like, hey, you know, like, I want to meet my family again. Like, I want to go back. He does eventually go back. 33 years later, but it shows that, yes, you will eventually get what you want, but it's gonna take a long time to reach that moment, which kind of adds more to the emotional impact of this scene now that I'm thinking about it. Like, thinking of the fact that it took Jonas over 30 years to finally reach her again. It's 6 months for her, but it's 30 years for him. Like, the time difference. Man. It is heartbreaking to also know that all of these people are going to die. Those graveyards in the future, including Martha's, Alexander, like, everybody is going to die. It will be heartbreaking, especially for future Jonas, to know all of this. And I think the reason why he could potentially become Adam and be who he is, or who he will be, is because he is probably going to blame himself for the fact that he failed to change the future. Like, nothing changed. Nothing has changed. It all remains the same. You could not change anything, and he's still pursuing to change that no matter what, to the point that it could drove him to insanity. And I hate to see that happen, because I know that is a huge possible outcome. But yeah, this entire scene, him convincing Hannah about like who he is, beautiful stuff. I wonder if he is going to be the one who is going to circle the calendar, now that I'm thinking about it, because we know that Hannah is the one who's like crossing the calendar dates, but in the future, Jonas sees that the date where the apocalypse happened is being circled around. So I wonder if that is actually Jonas himself who circles it, because it hasn't been circled yet, and nobody knows the date exactly right at this point in time. So I wonder if that could be the case. Alright, so another thing that I want to talk about, but I wasn't sure when I was when I was watching this the episode, was this part right here when Katarina was like drawing the cave entrances. I need to rewatch or look back at like the maps again, but I kind of don't want to. I just want to. At this point, I kind of don't want to go back to season 1, and I just want to experience season 2 as it is. Like, can't really go back into the past, can I? But I am wondering, is this actually the same map that Jonas is holding, like in the attic? Like, part of me feels like that a part of me feels like that doesn't make sense, or at least for now, because how does Mikhail get a hold of this, or how future Jonas gets a hold of this, and then transferred it to the past. Like I'm still not sure. Like I'm still unsure of how that's going to work if that is the case. I feel like it's more possible that the cave map itself is it possible for that to be drawn by Mikkel? I'm not sure, because I always thought that the cave entrance or the cave map itself is being was a drawing by Mikkel or Mikhail. Now I'm not so sure, because the question is, why would he drew it? You know what I mean? I'm not sure anymore. This could actually be the actual map itself, and has traveled through time, obviously, to reach whatever point that. I mean, if Kata, no, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I was gonna say Katarina will go back into the past and will meet Mikhail for some reason, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the more possible and likely outcome is that Martha is going to be the one who goes back in time. He's going to be using this. She is going to be using this map. She is going to meet whatever character that has connections with Jonas, and that's going to lead up to eventually Jonas finding this map in season 1. I feel like that's going to be the most obvious, or at least the more possible outcome. Could be. I'm gonna hold on to that. But it is. I think it would be fun to see a lot of things that we have seen before in season 1 be created in season 2, so we can have a that's the thing that they were doing. That's the thing that they were making in season 1, and that could make the rewatch for season 1 to be way more better. But speaking of things that are being done in season 2 that may have correlations to things that we know in season 1, let's go to, let's see where it is. This place, this here. This is great. Peter and Charlotte, after their rocky relationship in season 1, where they're kind of separated, now they're kind of bonding and be together again in a way, solving this mystery of the city. I find it to be kind of wholesome that they are together again, working for the same outcome, figuring things out. But 2, they are currently decorating the bunker, right? Whatever state that this bunker will be in by the end of all of this will be the state that the bunker will be in the future, in 2052 and 53. We're just missing the family photos with the strings and all, right? And we're just waiting for Claudia to appear and kind of makeshift everything up. But I am so excited. If I see them starting to connect the dots literally in this bunker, and that is it. Woo! Man, season 2 of Dark is starting really, really strong. I'm really enjoying this opening a lot. I really am. Oh, this is interesting. So, I was pausing on this frame, and I was reading it a bit, and then I went on Google and searched on the Kybalion. Of course, it's going to relate to the Hermetic text, and of course, the Emerald Tablet, by the way, where Sigmundus Creatus S was originated from, or at least the phrase. But it's. I'll just read this. Hard and soft, between black and white, between sharp and dull, between noise and quiet, between high and low, between positive and negative. The principle of polarity explains these paradoxes, and no other principle can supersede it. The same principle operates on the mental plane. Let us take a radical and extreme example, that of love and hate, 2 mental states Two mental states apparently totally different, and yet there are degrees of hate and degrees of love, and a middle point in which we use the terms like or dislike. And then if we go back, and then if we go to the second page, some of it is a bit blurry because of the focus of the camera, but good and evil are but the poles of the same thing, and the Hermetist understands the art of transmuting evil into good by means of an application of the principle of polarity. In short, the art of polarization becomes a phase of mental alchemy, known and practiced by the ancient and modern Hermetic masters. An understanding of the principle will enable one to change his own polarity, as well as that of others, if he will devote the time and study necessary to master the art. What a way to describe Noah and Jonas. Just that. What a way to describe those two characters and the ideals and their current objectives and goals. What a way to immediately explain what Adam is doing. What a way to tie into why they are infatuated by the Emerald Tablet, Sigmundus Creatus Est, and also why the photo is in this book. Alright, time to look at the photo and see what we have here. So, Adam right in the center, the triquetra. Is this supposed to be future Bartos? And then, of course, Noah. Not sure about all of these other characters, though. And I'm still not sure if this is actually Bartos or not, if this is just another person with a really blocky facial structure. But curious. I think this has been one of my favorite mini Easter eggs, if you will. If you pause and you read and you're trying to dissect what it's all about. Last time I was like this excited was when I think it was like episode 2 of season 1, when all of those symbols and such were present in Jonas's room back in episode 2. Curious. I love those. I love the specific paragraphs or specific sentences that was shown when Elizabeth was flipping the book. Like, it's clear that they want the audience, if they are pausing the screen, then they want them to read in the context within those texts. I think that's fun. I think that was fun and insightful, to say the least. Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. And yet, here, I want to see this for a bit. See if there's anything of note. The 4 main families. I can't really make up the reasoning behind these exact placements for now at least, but like it's clear that there's a reason why. There's a reason why these 6 are lumped together. There's a reason why these are lumped together along with these. There's a reason why these 2 are together. There's a reason why these 2 are together, and she is separate. I don't know who that is though. Who is that? Interesting. Oh, and of course, the apple. The apple, right there. The fruit of knowledge and the one that brought us to sin. Yes. I have a hunch that is probably Adam's favorite fruit. Symbolically speaking. And off he goes. I still don't know who this is though. Like, I don't know who this is. This is a new character, I think. Like, I've never met this person in my life. I don't even know if... Dark has conditioned me to immediately suspect any new character as characters that we have actually met before. So, who are you? I don't know who you are. Who are you? Is there anything else that I want to talk about? I think that's pretty much it, actually. I mean, there's some things that are pretty obvious that I don't really need to talk about, like Elizabeth in the future. Yeah, the last thing that I can't really talk about is the giant orb that Jonas found, because what even is this? Because, like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what this is, but I am intrigued. I want to know. I want to know what this is. Maybe Jonas is gonna go into that, and it's gonna fuck him up, and that's how he became Adam. I don't fucking know. That's like one thing that I can think of right now. But that's pretty much it for my discussion for Dark Season 2, Episode 1. Woo! Season 2 off with a bang. Really, really good. Really, really good. Oh man, cannot wait to experience what some people are saying to be like the best season of Dark. Usually second seasons of mystery shows can be the best. Like, first season is the setup, the second season is the exploration, and then the third season is the payoff, right? That's like the 3-act structure of storytelling in general. Glad to be back, and I'm glad to be watching this show. Thank you all so much for watching my reaction and my discussion for Dark. Early access is available on Patreon as usual, links in the description below. And as usual, take care guys, have a nice day. Peace.